Okay, let's start off by saying my name is Travis. This is my little workshop. I'm here in Pennsylvania, and this is the Craftsman 6-inch variable speed jointer. And I just want to let you guys know the things that I've come to discover about it in the last month or two. So basically, you can use the jointer to make things flat on two sides. You want to do the top side and an edge. But the thing is, you have to be careful when you're cutting and make sure you don't have any nails, because those will nick your cutting blade, and that could pose a problem, and then you'll have to start spending more money on blades. But this guy is for just about any type of wood you can think of, just not very long pieces. You'd rather do short pieces, and I have yet to use softwood on this machine. I've only done hardwood so far. I've done cherry, I've done maple, I've done this beautiful Paducah you see. This is rough right now. Yeah, and it comes out very beautiful when you do plane it. Well, not plane it, joint it. I've jointed, you joint one side, one edge, and then you put it through the planer, and then you can use the table saw to get the other edge. And that's what I've done. And that's how you get this beautiful looking wood. From this to that. But so yeah. So you have this lock knob on the variable speed jointer. You turn it left to loosen it, and then from there you can change the height. You can turn the cutter head, well, it raises this table slightly, and it raises it up and it raises it down, and you use this to lock it. This is to make sure you don't, cut your fingers and everything. It helps you, it keeps you safe basically. But as you go through, it moves it and exposes the cutter head. So you have to be careful when you're milling up your lumber. And this is the dial for the speed. You use the lower speeds for softer woods. I always use 5 for all harder woods. And in the manual, it'll tell you how much you should be cutting based off the width of the board and the speed that you should be cutting with. And this is the power switch right here. Off and on. Up is on, down is off. It also has a little lock function that you can, little holes for a lock that you can put in to lock it. So if you have kids, that will make sure your kids don't turn it on if you like to keep everything plugged up. And then also, there is a little latch right here that if you hook it up to the cutter head, it'll lock the blades in place, so you can change the blades or just keep it safe for if you keep this plugged up and your kids are around. So yeah. And I believe this is about 30 inches. The bed of the jointer is about 30 inches and 6 inches wide. And a few things that I've always used anytime I use this jointer is this little square to make sure the fence is in line and everything, to make sure it's square. So we're cutting pieces the way we want to cut them instead of not slanted. And this is also, I like to use this guy to make sure everything's squared up once I'm done planing and jointing and everything. You gotta make sure it all looks good. Yeah. Gotta make sure. So yeah, this is the Craftsman variable speed jointer. I'll have some videos up of me using it. And also, I use these guys to make sure my hands get nowhere near that blade, because you gotta stay safe out here. You want to keep these fingers. So yeah. Enjoy. So when planing, you want to put more pressure on the out feet side, not the in feet side. On the in feet side, you just want to be skating by, just gliding and a smooth pass, not really pressing down, putting pressure on the board. Putting pressure on the board and the front and the back at one time can cause the board to cup, and that's exactly what you want to avoid. I took 2 passes to get it completely flat, and I'm taking very small passes, and you can see it looks a lot better than the first time I went through. And I'm just feeling how smooth it is and comparing the rough sides. How it feels buttery smooth. I like to draw, if you will, on the wood so I can see where the cutter heads is cutting, make sure everything on the surface of the wood is getting cut. So I just draw all over that, and then I run it through the joiner one more time, so 3 passes to get it as flat as possible, and just to make sure everything is getting hit up and perfect, basically. And as I was saying, everything is all good. All those marks by the pencil are all gone. And then I can just continue to move forward to getting the edge down. And the edge is the same thing as the face. You're putting more pressure on the out feed side, and the in feed is just skating by. As you can see, I do the same thing. Take a few passes. And that looks flat, but you can never know just by looking by the eyeball. So I had to run downstairs and get my square and make sure things were getting all squared up, got that fresh cut going on. And look at that, perfect. Everything's square. So from there, you can just take it to your planer and your table saw, and you can get the other 2 edges parallel and perfect.